Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's SqueezeMobi show, Module 5. Enrique Becco here, your host. Neil is about to get in the room. I had him on the other line, so we've got a jam-packed, exciting session today. I want to get a hello from everybody that's in the room. I see people are pouring in already, so we've got a nice agenda today. Let's see who's in here. Hey, Barb, how you doing from Minnesota? Steve Ramsey says, yo. Daryl, Gordon, Dave, Selena. Where else is everybody reporting from today? Because I'm reporting from a really exciting place. I think you guys got my emails, if I am correct, if my communication is working with all of you. I am in an ex-Soviet bloc country that used to be a part of the Soviet Union. It's actually really exciting. Maybe a place I don't know. Depends where you're from, but I've certainly become much more cultured about different places since I've been in Europe for I don't know how long now, but since I've been here, and it's really exciting because doing a couple meetings as well. My meeting today got canceled and pushed back to tomorrow, but I will be reporting to you how everything is going, because this is something that is very important to all of you, because as we continue to develop SqueezeMobi, this is not how SqueezeMobi is going to be a couple months from now. We are continually putting in efforts, whether it's our own time, whether it's our own money, to make sure we bring you the cutting edge in mobile technology, the very best training, and are always thinking so that you could have literally everything at your fingertips to have your mobile business. So that's one of the exciting things that we're working on here at SqueezeMobi headquarters, all the way from the UK to the US to Hong Kong to Moldova, and let's see. All right, I see a couple people making some cool comments. So who's just a real quick question? Who's been to Moldova from our audience today? I want to see if there's anyone that's been to Chisinau. I think it's how you pronounce it in English. It's Kishinev in I guess Moldovan and Russian. Actually, a lot of people speak Russian here, which I was a little surprised about. But Hannah says never heard of it before today. Kenneth says. Okay, Kenneth's never been there. So cool. All right, well let's get into today's discussion about lead gen, and this is how I wanted to structure this 7-day quick start blueprint. So the first session, module 1, white labeling your business, how to get everything up, whether it's your logo, talking a little bit about business cards, just the basic setup. That was how it was structured. Then we went into the technical overview regarding how you can build mobile sites, how you could set up SMS campaigns, and how you can build mobile apps, which Henson covered those 3 sessions. Now we're going to take it a step back. I wanted to do the technical sessions first because I know all of you have questions about that. Hey, I'm not familiar with the platform. How do I do this? How do I do that? So we wanted to give you those sessions so you have them at your fingertips. Now we're going to take it a step back, which, logically this should have came before teaching you how to fulfill on those services and how to do the delivery, but we're going to talk about lead gen. So we're going to talk about, hey, how can you close the correct clients? How can you source different types of leads, and leads that are targeted, that are already spending a ton of freaking money on advertising, on marketing, that's getting them zero to very small return on investment, and how you can come in and save the day. So Does that sound like a plan? Are you guys ready to rock and roll with SqueezeMobi as the SqueezeMoBillionaire show starts? Session number 5, module number 5. Yeah? All right, let's get into it. So, the agenda today, we're going to go through, talk a little bit about an introduction, excuses. What are some limiting beliefs that we have that from working with different types of coaching clients and helping them set up their offline businesses, what we see as some of kind of the biggest stumbling blocks and how you can break through these. Then we're going to go into generating leads through different types of methods. So whether it's just easy leads kind of through family and friends, or it's Groupon, Yellow Pages, mobile sites. Let me see. Let me just X out of this. Okay. Can everybody still see my screen now? Yeah? Cool. And if I change the slide, yeah? Okay, great. And so whether it's that or whether we're going to talk about also broken flash sites, I covered that in session 0, basically the webinar where we introduced everyone to SqueezeMoBillionaire. So that might be a little bit of a review, but we're going to go through all of this so that you have basically almost an unlimited potential, unlimited sources of leads that you can tap into. Now, question for everyone. Who's closed at least one client on anything mobile? Give me a yes or a not yet. I want to see the level of everyone here. Okay? Some not yet. Okay. But a lot of people, it seems, actually a lot of people here, which I'm really happy about, compared to some of our other training sessions and webinars, have closed clients, which makes me happy, especially because we're letting people get in at a really good deal, and one of the reasons for that is so you could take the platform, take the training, and get out there and close clients. But I do want to say that I can't physically go and knock on your doorstep and make you pick up the phone. I can't stop you from maybe, you know, some people, and I know this for myself. I know, coming from my own personal experience, sometimes I just get wrapped up in something, reading something on the internet, and I think I'm doing work, but I'm not really doing work, because what I'm doing is not directly resulting in me or my business, SqueezeMobi, in any of us generating more revenue. So calling those clients, closing those leads, and today we're gonna talk about that, because it's very important. But you need to commit, and I want your commitment right now that after this call, after we do this, you're gonna get out there, you're gonna get your butt out there, and you're gonna start closing clients, whether you have 100 clients or you have 0 clients, but you're gonna do something that's gonna add to your bottom line. All right? And I see Danny says, you got it, I'm committed. Gina as well, Derek. All right, that's good, because I want your commitment. There is nothing that makes me happier if you come on next session and you tell me, hey, Enrique, I just made a couple $100. And all right, so excuses. Couple things I wanna talk about. First thing, who sometimes feels that they just don't have that technological background, the foundation. You feel that's what you're lacking in, and that's what's stopping you from closing clients. Give me a yes. Give me a why. Okay? Now, who feels... Okay, I see a lot of yeses. Who feels that they just don't have enough knowledge about mobile marketing? Knowledge in order to close those clients. All right, I see also a ton of yeses. What about experience? Hey, how are you going to compete? How are you going to compete when there's people that already, have 10 clients, they've built 20 mobile sites? How are you going to compete with them? Does that feel like something that's stopping you? Is that something that's stopping you? And what else do you have? Tell me what other things are stopping you. Just give them to me. Victoria said, up until now, I couldn't explain the benefits to make the sale. Hopefully you could even take what I tell you word for word, literally write it down if you want as a script and rehash it. I will not sue you for trying to talk like Enrique. Okay? I have anxiety. Okay. Oh, Anna has a good one. A really good lead gen website template. All right? Won't be able to answer questions if people ask questions, says Jory. Responding to rejection. And then outsourcing to good people. All right? Well, you know what I'm going to tell you, right? You know what I'm going to tell you. You can look at the title of this slide, but rather than tell you, this is my favorite example. It's just a great example because it's just so absurd. The results are so fast, but you may have heard us talking about Les. And if yes, give me a yes in the question box. If not, then I'll tell you the story. But he was one of, when we had SqueezeMoBillionaire 1.0, which didn't involve any of these tools. It was just pretty much a community, the Facebook community that you all have access to right now. And on top of that, we had a weekly session. And at some of those sessions, a couple times, we picked a member to become a hot seater. Kind of as a part of that, we took them on in a sense as like a coaching client for that week, and we gave them that same type of attention as we do for our different types of one-on-one coaching clients. And we spent 1 hour with Les that Sunday after the call. I remember I was getting pretty tired, and Neil did a lot of the talking, a lot of the coaching. And Les goes around. He had zero. He never made a sale. He didn't have a website. He didn't have a business card. In fact, what he said when I said, "Hey, did you have a business card?" We interviewed him after, and we said, "Hey, do you have a business?" He said, "No. Why would I ever give a business card? That's just an excuse for when the business owner doesn't want to talk to you anymore." Right? They're going to say, "Hey, give me your business card so that I can call you later." And you know what type of BS that is? They're never going to call you. And he said, "So no, I don't carry around a business card because that's just an excuse for them to ask for it and then to never contact me again." So he went out, but he did literally walk-ins, and one of the methods that we're going to cover today is the yellow page method. That was what he relied on when he was doing his lead gen. He closed over, I believe, over 13,000 US dollars. For him, it was Australian dollars, but when I did the conversion at those exchange rates that time, it was over 13,000. I think 13,150 to be exact when I did the conversions. Of sales in 7 freaking days. All right, so literally from zero to hero. Now, am I saying, hey, you guys are going to go out and close $13 worth of sales? No, but for people that haven't sold anything yet, what about starting with $1,000 a week and closing and actually going out there and getting into it, really approaching those clients? Now, the one thing he said that was the key to his success was he did a ton of walk-ins. He literally put everything on the line. He said, all right, rejection sucks, and I hate it. I don't like it, but I'm going to do a ton of walk-ins. And I think he did between 40 and 50 walk-ins that week. He got in his car. He wasn't on his computer. He took action. And that's why he succeeded so rapidly, because if someone said no, he would ask either for referrals or he would go to the next person. And he's in Tasmania. Neil, do you remember what he said? He said the coolest thing here, the most exciting thing that happens in the town that I live in, for anybody that has an excuse that they live in an area that they have no leads to approach, the coolest thing that happens here is that the light turns from green to red.
That's right, yeah.
So if you have two traffic lights in your city, then you have a more exciting place with more leads than Les does. That was pretty cool. I love that.
It must be an exciting place, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go visit him one day. You know, I think Moldova is much more exciting. I think I'll stay here for now.
I still don't believe that place even exists. I think you're just making it up.
Wait, Moldova or Tasmania?
Moldova.
I think Avi was like, he said, oh, you know, he said, oh, yeah, Les, he's from Transylvania. I was like, dude, yeah. Transylvania's in Romania. It's so we're completely different. And guys, that's what happens when a couple Americans get together with Englishmen and try to coach an Australian. Yeah. So let's get on to this, and let's start talking about this, because the point being, the excuses, they are limiting beliefs, and what I want you to do is, for this session, just erase anything that you have been taught or you have conditioned yourself to believe. Clean slate. Let's go forward, and also reduce a lot of the distractions. I know a lot of people get hundreds of emails a day, and honestly, what I do now, and apologies if someone maybe sent me an email that I didn't respond to, but I generally only check my email like 2 or 3 times a week, you know, and that's because I just get so many, and I'll just sit down 15 minutes and I'll go through all of them and quickly respond to whatever I need to pass it on to the next person. But I'm not all the time on my email. Same thing with Skype or anything, because I want to take dedicated and focused action and do the things that actually result in revenues, which means talking to clients and figuring out those other things that are going to directly produce revenue. So baby step. Let's start easy, because lead gen doesn't have to be hard. And I don't know who said it on here, but someone said, hey, I closed, it was someone I knew. When I asked, how many clients do you have? 1, but it was someone I knew. That's okay. A lead is a lead. What's the difference? It's still experience. It's still a potential client. You know, I don't care if I'm going to get in business with a family member and it's going to make me $1 million. It still made me $1 million. You know, people could say, hey, oh, that's not fair. But in the end, the result is the same. So why not start with people, with leads that are going to be much easier to approach, and that when they give you feedback on your pitch, on your sales approach, on the audit that you're going to be giving them, which we're going to be covering in the next session, how to audit their entire digital marketing strategy, they're going to tell you, hey, you're pretty bad at this. You need to work on this and this, and that's going to help you close the deal much, much better. So I want everyone out on here to get out a pen and a pencil, and I want you to write this down, because whether you are a beginner, whether you are advanced, and you think, hey, I'm too good for this type of crap, or even if you've already done it, because I know I haven't done this exercise with people with our group in a long time, probably in a couple of months, but I want you to get out and do this, okay? So, who has a pen and a paper in front of them? Not a computer, not a computer, okay? Actual physical writing it down, because when it's physical, there is some type of, I don't know how to explain. I'm not a psychologist, even though I love studying psychology as well, but there is some type of trigger that that switches, and it gets ingrained much more into your brain when you actually write it down compared to just typing it and it's in the virtual world in your computer on your hard drive. Gets lost. Okay? So Selena says, always take notes with you guys. Learn so much. Thank you, Selena. Happy to be at your service. All right? So anyone that you know, write them down. 10 friends and family, preferably if you have their phone number as well, maybe in your phone, somewhere else, because I'm going to want you to call them, not email them, call them. 10 friends and family. Think. All right? Some people are going to tell me, I just don't, I ran out. I have 2, and I ran out. And this is what I always say: be creative. Don't fall into those same patterns that you're conditioned to fall into. All right? And when I say friends and family, think about maybe your favorite restaurant that you know your owner. That's kind of a friend too. Maybe the gym you go to. That's kind of a friend too. Maybe that accountant that does your taxes every single year. You kind of know him. He can kind of become a friend too. What about that coffee shop that you go to? And what about as well friends of friends? Oh, my friend, he's not the owner, but he works at this restaurant and he's a waiter. I'm sure that he has a good relationship with the manager. So just think outside of the box. And Peggy said a really good thing that I'm actually not going to cover, but I know a lot of people have been leveraging this and getting good results. Jeff has been doing that too. Our Jeff that we might have talked about maybe when you saw WPMobi Niche Trader. I think we had like a testimonial or something from him as well. Is the local chamber of commerce too. And just something to think about regarding lead gen. It's a little more high pressure, but think about the local chamber of commerce later on too. All right. So Chris DeVos said the brain believes what is written. Neuropsychology. Love it. And Andrea, the people learn better when they write. It's easier to recall when you use action and visuals. I completely agree. And the thing is, for me, I don't usually even, like when I was studying in any type of school, or I'm studying anything, a lot of times I take notes. I never even reference those notes again, but I remember it much better just because I took notes. So getting back to this and generating the leads, think, okay? Just think. And what you're going to do after this presentation is over, I want you to call every single one of them and schedule a meeting. And what you're going to say, simple script, do these simple things. It's not about those crazy advanced techniques. A lot of times, focus on the fundamentals and you will get results. And say, hey, I've been involved in this, depending on where you are in your business is how you, but I recently started doing mobile marketing consulting, and I think it could actually help you in your business. But I know we also haven't caught up in quite a bit of time. So I was wondering, would you have time for a coffee, a quick lunch, sometime this week? Maybe 15, 20 minutes. That's all you have to say. Just schedule a meeting with the person. Hint at them that you might have some ideas for their business. It's going to be low pressure, nothing high pressure. You're not going to go in with, what is it called? Like Quickstar and Amway and give them this crazy presentation how they should sign up for this MLM marketing scheme. But and MLM can be good, sometimes, but a lot of times the way people do it, people try to push you into it, is done very incorrectly and just turns people off. You're going to be given some free ideas, and actually you're going to give away a ton of value. When we go into the audit next week, we're going to show you how to structure that so that all these presentations, people go from them even if they don't go with you at the end, and they say, wow, like I actually have some new ideas on how I should restructure my marketing to get more clients and drive these clients back into my business. All right, so is everybody done with this exercise? Yes? No? Maybe so? Not yet? Todd only has one. Halfway, Derek. Start writing faster. Okay. All right. Most people are done. Okay, Todd, one means yes. All right. Cool. Referrals. Just real quickly. Even if these warm leads don't bite, always, 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 in the end, because you don't want to be focusing on cold leads, they're just going to be much by nature. A referral is always so much easier to convert. Why? Because there's that added factor of trust already. Credibility, which otherwise you have to gain it over a couple month period, because you have to first get results, and you can't, and then that takes quite a bit of time to do. Whereas someone else could say, hey, this guy got results, or he's a credible person. It's much easier. So always ask for referrals. Say, hey, do you have any idea on anyone else, even if this is not the right time for you? Maybe you can't implement this. Maybe this doesn't go hand in hand with your business model. Maybe you have too much business and you just don't really care. Do you have someone I could talk to that might have an interest in mobilizing their business? All right. So wrapping this baby step up before we go into Groupon and Yellow Pages and cover some more of the advanced techniques is, I just want to say, lead is a lead. Some might be worth more. For example, a automotive client is probably going to be worth a lot more than the barbershop on the corner. On the other hand, an automotive client is much more high pressure, and sometimes I recommend starting small, getting that confidence up, and then scaling it up, going to bigger clients. But why not start with the ones that are going to convert and that we're the most comfortable with, which are friends and family, and that can give honest feedback. An automotive client that I don't know, a lawyer that I just walk into his office and I completely bomb the presentation, he's not going to give me necessarily honest feedback. It's just going to be an awkward moment. So let's get into step number one. This is what we covered at the the SqueezeMobi Billionaire, I like to call it session 0. Well, there were 3 session 0s, but one of the session 0s is how to generate basically leads via broken flash sites. And we're going to generate 10 leads right now on this call, and I want you as well, if you can see, if your I don't know if your monitor is large enough, but I do want you to try to follow along and generate your own leads while I do this, because if you just watch it, you probably won't take action on it, and you won't understand it, but you'll understand the mechanics. I'll try to go slow. I know a couple people said that we've been going fast in our sessions. I'll try to go slow. Let me know if you need me to slow down or something. But generating leads via broken flash sites, okay? Who's done this before? Who's generated leads with this, yes or no? Okay, I see it's about 50-50. Okay, maybe a lot of people, maybe 40%, 30% have. Cool. This makes me happy because I see there's a ton of action takers on this call that are already putting this stuff into good use. So let's get right into it. Pop up Google if I may ask you to do that. Go to google.com. All right, and let's put this string in there. It's my screen is freezing up a little bit. All right, it's file type colon. I believe that's a colon. File. Let me 1 second. I'm just file type SWF. And then put quotation marks. Now, give me some examples. What do you want me to search for? All right. Before I did restaurants in San Francisco, let's make it a little spicier. All right. Give me a location. You need to give me a location too. Niche and location. Niche and location. So we can make it specific when we go to the Google AdWords keyword tool. All right, I see Evan saying lawyer in Vancouver. Okay, let's see what that pops up, and then we're gonna. All right, cool. Let's check this person out. Please select a lawyer, and we could see how this looks. This might we'll see in our mobile phone right here, okay? And you just want to put that in there without the SWF at the end, usually. And I put it with the SWF there. Let's see. 1 second. All right. Cool. All right. And it says here, it says not found even. All right. Okay, let's check this out. Cool. All right, that might be better. All right, sometimes we gotta play around with it. All right, so we have an awesome white screen. So when you get these file types, just so you know some technical stuff, right? There's always going to be a SWF behind it, okay? There's always going to be an SWF behind it. Here's like index.swf. So you might have to play around with it, and when you actually put the real site in, definitely always leave out that SWF. Okay, so this is how that main page looks, and they wanted to make it look cool. It doesn't look that cool. I don't know why they made it look like this. But what happens when we what happens when we do this? All right, on our mobile phone. You tell me. I'm going to just make sure that everyone understands this. All right, why do we want to find Flash websites. Why do we want to find Flash websites? Because, like Kenneth said, it's totally blank on an iPhone. It does work on some newer Android devices, but on older ones it doesn't. And what percent of the market is the iPhone and older Android devices? Okay, this means that for that customer, and when you approach this business, you say, hey, you know that even though you're trying to look all cool, all spiffy, you're thinking that, all right, I'm gonna make my site look so freaking cool. People can't even access it, especially from a mobile phone, because this is what it looks like. And what you then want to do is on one of these phones. This is an emulator that we use. But if you want to get a free one, all you need to do is go to springbox.com as well / I don't know, either about tools or you could type in Mobilizer Springbox in Google, and on here you will find they have a free one that you can then see how mobile sites. Some people like other ones much better, but springbox.com is okay as an emulator, so that you could see, so you don't have to type everything in your mobile phone every time. You can then just put the URL in there, and it makes it much easier. Okay, and what you then want to do is, let me show you, is take one of these emulators, whether it's Springbox, whether it's anyone. You right-click on it. You go here and you click on Save Screenshot, and it's going to turn into a PNG. All right, you save it on your in some folder for that client, desktop, whatever. And when you're going to be, if you actually have a meeting with that client, you want to show him what it looks like. You're going to also want to show him literally on your phone. All right, so you're going to, when you're in that client meeting, you don't just want to show him the screenshot. You're going to want to pull out the phone and say, hey, look at this, play around with it. How do I enter your site? You said right here you have a big enter this site right here, Kundari and Company. How do I enter it? I can't even access it. I can't do anything with it. I can't. How? Please, show me. Show me how to do that. All right. So that is the search string, file type, : SWF space, quotation marks, and then lawyer in Vancouver. And this is the one I did for San Francisco in session 0 that I showed. That's how their site looked. I did restaurants in San Francisco. Right now we did lawyer in Vancouver. The other thing is, you see there's a ton more people here. Ton of leads that you can now, some of them are not going to be applicable, but most of them are. All right, so you got to kind of search through this. Now, the other thing I want to ask you, this type of lead generation method, is this something you could teach someone else to do? For example, if you have someone that's an outsourcer or a full-time employee, could you have someone do this? This is pretty easy stuff, right? It's not anything too crazy, which is also a really good thing. Ron Nat says site shows all white on Android. Exactly, it's all white. That client doesn't even realize that, and we're gonna do a couple more things. Second thing, let's leverage now Google's analytics and go copy lawyer in Vancouver. We're gonna go to the Google AdWords keyword tool. I'm sure most of you have used this, and we're going to just throw that in there, lawyer in Vancouver. We're going to go here to exact, and then I'm going to go art high. I hate it that they always make us put that in there. Oh no. Havando excess. Okay. All right, type that in there, and honestly, there aren't that many. So we might actually, but on the other hand, we might want to go more specific, okay? That's one of the things is with lawyers, for example, like immigration lawyer, Vancouver, personal injury lawyer, because just lawyer in Vancouver is 36. So you might then want to rerun one of those searches. But let's say, for example, this personal injury lawyer, that one is quite a bit. I'm just going to rerun one of these searches real quick and see what type of results we get. All right? Now, is everyone following along for their own area as well, so that you could see how all this works? Yeah? Jamie says yes. I just want, because this is a very hands-on tutorial, I just want you to get this ingrained in your head, how these tools work and how you can then use it. I don't want you to be I don't want you to be get too lost. Anna says no SWF in my town. Anna, search somewhere maybe nearby, somewhere you don't necessarily have to meet these clients in person to close them. It is preferable, especially in the beginning, but you don't necessarily have to. You can call them and set up online meetings with them. Just to let you know, Avi and I are in Germany right now. I'm in Moldova. I'm constantly on the road. I'm constantly traveling. Most of what I do is not in person. All right, so just something to think about. And this only brings up, for example, one. So features of, and I don't know how. Let's see how this is gonna look. Okay. All right, so that's probably not the best example for personal injury lawyer, but you could play around with it. If you go maybe just a lawyer in Vancouver, you find some anyways, but the thing that we want to pinpoint here on here is the breakdown. That's why we're really using the keyword tool. All right, and to give us more ideas when we run these searches after. So how do we pinpoint this? All right, for example, what I did for restaurants in San Francisco is I first took a screenshot by doing just the desktop and laptop devices. Where do I find that? If we go under advanced options and filters, and we go down here for show ideas and statistics for desktop and laptop devices, all right, then if I go to all mobile devices and I rerun that search, now it's just going to show me for all mobile devices, okay? And we see, and we can then, for that area, pinpoint what is the breakdown. So for restaurants in San Francisco, there were 4,400 local monthly searches for restaurants in San Francisco from desktop and laptop devices, and then 2,900 from all mobile devices. You want to print those off. When you then go into the client meeting, those two screenshots, you want to print those off because you're gonna use them and you're gonna build your case. Now, it really depends on where you live. This example was really good for restaurants in San Francisco, because if we do the math, 39.7% of all of the searches were mobile. That's a really high amount. But even if in your area it's a little less than that, what we want to discuss when we're talking with that client is this. Using the statistic that 70% of all mobile searches result in action within 1 hour. And these clients, they don't understand this. And this is one thing you need to communicate. They don't understand the nature of mobile searches. The nature of a mobile search is it's usually local in nature, and it's a person that's ready to take action immediately. And 70% of all mobile searches result in action within 1 hour. So whether it's looking up for a lawyer, maybe I need a lawyer right now because I just got into a car accident, all right? And I just want to make sure that I am very protected. So if I'm looking up lawyer, if I'm looking up a lawyer on my mobile phone, there is a reason. Otherwise, I'm probably going to do this research on my desktop, but on a mobile phone, I'm ready to take action. I'm ready to use that click to call button. I am ready to get in touch with the lawyer. Now, if since this is urgent, since it's immediate, and it could be whether it's a restaurant, whether I'm hungry, I'm not going to take 20 minutes to go snoop around and try to find this restaurant, this place. If I can't find a restaurant, I'm just going to go to the next one. If it's a flash site and if it looks completely white when I enter that site because it's broken and I can't view it on my phone, I'm not going to stick around and try to figure out a way to access that site. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to one of that business's competitors. So not only for that example with the restaurants in San Francisco, or whether it's lawyers in Vancouver, not only is that restaurant missing out on 39.7% of the traffic, they're missing out on the most important traffic. They're missing out on the traffic that is ready to take action and that is ready to spend money in many cases. And that's a point that you want to hit on you want to hit that nail right on the head when you're discussing it with business owners. Does that sound doable? I want to see. I want to get some. I want to get some. Yeah? Okay. All right. So step 2. That's how you generate leads. That's just one way. I'm going to go through a couple different ways so that if one way for any reason you're just not able to do it, you're not able to figure it out, you have other ways and you have literally no excuse for not leveraging one of these 3 ways. You don't have to leverage all of them. Just pick one. Definitely do the friends and family, but for the other ones, pick the one that appeals to you and hit that one on, just hit that nail on the head and leverage it. And because everyone lives in different areas, you're going to want to start locally before you expand across the country, because in-person meetings in the beginning are much easier. But that being said, your clients don't necessarily have to be in your area. Like I said, we're in Germany. Neil's in the UK. We're a global company, and generally, other than like right now, I'm going to meet with our mobile apps developers. I don't do too many in-person meetings. All right, so let's generate some leads with the yellow pages. This is the method that Les used when he closed his 13,000 plus in that week. Why are and I probably skipped ahead a second and I wanted to ask you a question. Why are the yellow pages a good place to generate leads? Why are these businesses ones that you should be targeting? Derek, great one. Derek says they are, and Evan said that too. Actually, a lot of people. Exactly. Number one, they spend money. They spend their advertising. Same thing with people who have flash sites. They understand that their website needs to kind of look good and up to a certain standard, but they just haven't thought things through. All right? And like Celine said, yellow pages are not cheap. To throw an ad up in there, it costs quite a bit of money. And it's much easier to close a local business that understands marketing. They understand they need to reach new customers but they just don't necessarily know how. All right, so they're already spending money, then they're spending a lot of money. But the other reason is, since they're spending money, are they getting results? Now you tell me, when someone calls, when you go, if you were to open up the Yellow Pages right now and say, look up, a dentist, you want to get your teeth whitened. You call that dentist through that number that you found there. Does that dentist know that you used the Yellow Pages in order to get in touch with him? Does he know? No. Unless there's two things, like Selena said. There's two things. There's only two ways they would know. Number one is if they ask you, hey, how did you hear about us? And you tell them. Some people, some businesses, they do surveys. Or number two, if they're using some type of call tracking. So if they're so advanced that they're analyzing their marketing. Now, what percentage of businesses do you think is really doing any of the above two things that I mentioned? Or better said, what business actually knows how many leads they're getting from the Yellow Pages? And it's a reliable number. Exactly, about 1%. Max, maybe 3%. All right, so you call up 100 of those businesses, you might not even hit one that's going to be an objection, because they're not going to be able to outsmart you, which is cool. Because print is dead, and the Yellow Pages, unless that business is specifically targeting an older age group, potentially in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even 60s, it's people are using new means, new methods in order to find businesses. So more in the 70s and 80s, if people are in the 70s and 80s, those people, yes, they still use the Yellow Pages, and it could be a potentially lucrative way, basically a good return on their investment. But otherwise, who the hell is using the Yellow Pages? When was the last time you used the Yellow Pages? Please tell me if you have, as a doorstop, exactly. As a doorstop, I use it, I don't know, to prop something up, right? Or to step on it, because I need to, and I'll put my additions. I don't have any at my place, but back when I was in the U.S. and even a couple years ago, no one even used the Yellow Pages. You just prop them up and step on them in order to, I don't know, get to some high places if you don't have a ladder in your house. And I love it. I think I mentioned this one time, but it would be better if that business took whatever amount of money, if they're spending a couple $1,000s, they rented out a private jet, and then they just threw out flyers like all over the city. It's ridiculous. But that's cool, because that presents us with a pretty cool opportunity. So what I want you to do is, I actually do want you to use the Yellow Pages. I know I just badmouthed the Yellow Pages, but I do want you to use them. And if you go to adsolutions.yp.com, let's just check this out real quick. You could do that either there, and you could get in touch with them. Try to get some information out of them. Enter your zip code, call them up, try to get some information out of them. Tell them you're a local business. Maybe get some prices in your area if you don't know them. If you know them, then that's great. but also get a physical directory, and then figure out the costs in your area. And even if you don't know them, that's okay, because when you start talking to these business owners, you'll get data that way. Because you'll ask them as well, a part of your intro is going to be, hey, how much are you spending on the yellow pages? And you're going to tell them exactly what I told you, how the yellow pages are dying, and how if they took that money, reinvested it into mobile marketing, into social media, into other methods, whatever you think is appropriate for them, whatever kind of package you structure out for them, how it's going to bring them a much larger return on investment. But by asking these business owners and contacting some of them, you're going to also get kind of a data sample so you could figure out what are the different prices. They're not going to be the same, because it's not kind of like a one price fits all. Some businesses, if they've been with the yellow pages for a longer time, they're going to get a little bit of a better rate as well. How much do the yellow pages cost in your area? You tell me. For a full page ad, now people aren't generally going to get a full page ad, but approximately how much do they cost? If someone knows, does anyone on here know how much the yellow pages cost in their area? Yes, Steven said. Okay. Anna said in large cities, color full page is 40 grand. All right, so it's between 25,000 and 50,000 for a full page ad. It depends on the space. It depends on the specifications, what you want, but that's not important. What's the important part? The important part is that it costs. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to curse, but it costs a crap ton of money. It costs a lot of money. Now, let me ask you this: if a business gave you 20, let's say $10,000. If they gave you $10,000, what could you do for that business? Anna said, I'd launch them to the moon. Get them found a lot. And that is exactly the point that we're getting at here, is compared to the return on investment that they're getting from the yellow pages. A lot of times they're just with the yellow pages because they're used to it. They've been with them for a long time. They're used to it. They don't understand that marketing, that technology are changing, and that they need to change with the times, because if they don't readjust their business models, their marketing models, they are continually going to see decreased results from their old type of model. And that's where you come in, and these businesses literally need you, and you need to help them, because otherwise they're just wasting a ton of money. So do your research on the internet. There's yellratesinfo.com. Just something interesting that I found. It might be useful for you if you're in the UK. Check that out. Could be potentially interesting, and do your research. But get the yellow pages and generate some leads. Generate some leads and call them up. How are you going to approach these? How are you going to approach these leads? What are you going to do? All right. And one of the things, the easiest method, is to directly discuss with any one of these methods, whether it's the broken flash sites, whether it's yellow pages, whether it's Groupon. What's the strategy? The strategy is these businesses are using something that's not getting them the results that is potentially a problem that does not necessarily have a good return on the investment. So you want to go in as someone who is more knowledgeable and that can educate them, add value, even if they don't end up going with you, even if you don't end up structuring a marketing package, they are going to feel that you have added a ton of value to them because you taught them something. You taught them, hey, a flashlight doesn't work on an iPhone, and you show them, you put that phone in their hand, it doesn't work on old Android devices. You taught them, hey, why are the yellow pages not working anymore? And so when you go in, when you schedule those appointments, and it depends if you're going to do cold calls or if you're going to do walk-ins, I highly recommend doing walk-ins. It really pushes you and gets you to the next level. It does push your business just by pushing your comfort zone. But even if you just do cold calls, then going in and saying, hey, I guess that you probably spent, it's my estimate, you probably spent $10,000 a year on this ad that I just called you because I saw your ad here in the yellow pages. Would you say that's kind of true? How much do you spend? And they'll say, oh, I don't know, my guy that does my marketing does that. Well, you probably know a little bit, right? So you probably there's an estimate. Yeah, about 10,000. And ask them straight up, hey, do you know what type of results that's getting you? Do you know? Are you getting results from that? And they'll say, my guy that does the marketing, he takes care of that. Well, I would recommend that you kind of figure it out because $10,000 is not a small amount of money, especially for something that you're probably not getting that results for. People don't use the yellow pages. Let me ask you, when was the last time you yourself used the yellow pages? I mean, yeah, I guess I don't really use them. Yeah, and that's because people usually in their 70s and 80s, that's the type of target market that use the yellow pages. And I could see that you're a pretty trendy restaurant. And when I was in your place, I don't think that's the type of audience that you're necessarily trying to attract. Now, if you have some time, I wanted to kind of discuss with you tell you a little bit more about the yellow pages, how effective the yellow pages are, and also audit your business, really pinpoint some of the weaknesses and some of the strengths in your strategy and structure a marketing plan based on some of these new technologies that you could take. It's a very no pressure type of consultation. Usually I do charge about $300 for these for 60 minutes, but let's just stick for a smaller type of version of it, and we'll stick to around 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and see maybe if we want to take things forward. But I want to tell you this one thing that I guarantee you, and I always like to go in with something a little bit cocky. I guarantee you that this is going to be one of the best sessions and one of the best investments in your business that you have made, and it's going to be free of charge. I'll leave that whole audit and that whole entire marketing plan with you. Even if we don't move forward, you could keep that for yourself. Now, tell me, okay? Let's see. I want to see, what do you think the response from that business owner would be? If you offered something like that. Now, if you're just going in, and you're trying to sell them, hey, have you heard about mobile? It's really good. You should get a mobile site. It's amazing. Whereas if you do some background work and you really pinpoint some of these things, and you take some time, you care about that business, you these clients, they're real people. You actually want to help them, and for what they're spending on their marketing, they should be getting a good return on investment. So just something to think about. A couple of people asked about the audit. We're going to be going over that in our next session Monday. Okay, we're going to go over that in our next next session, and I'll teach you how to do those audits. But for now, you could start scheduling these appointments using what I'm telling you. Start scheduling them for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week, and then when we do the audit, you'll know exactly how to go in, audit that business, and do that from A to Z. All right, so generate 10 leads as well from the Yellow Pages so that we have kind of a mix of leads. And let's get right into talking about Groupon and some of the crazy things that Groupon are doing. We're going to, and I want you to take notes, because what I'm saying is the things I'm telling you are, and you could take this literally word for word, write down whatever you want, but the things that I'm telling you, you'll want to repeat them when you're in your client meetings. And you're going to, if they're using Yellow Pages, you're going to want to tell them how much the Yellow Pages suck. If they're on Groupon, you found them on Groupon, you're going to want to tell them the 10 reasons why Groupon is causing some businesses to go bankrupt and why businesses aren't getting results from Groupon. So let's go over some of those reasons. Why does Groupon suck? Why is it terrible? And give me some of your favorite reasons for those people that may have heard us talk a little bit about Groupon. You may have heard maybe some other marketers talk about Groupon. I know you, or you might have sourced leads from Groupon yourself. What are some of your favorite reasons? Reason number one. Let me ask you this. And let's do a live example. What do you want me to search on Groupon here? Food and drink. Fitness. All right, let's do fitness. I like fitness. I need to go to the gym. All right. Now, let's. All right. Wow. All right. Let's take this one for example. Okay. Or the massages, or a massage is cool. Let's take this one for example. 63% off a Swedish massage. All right. How much is the business getting? $29. How much does the business keep? Or how much does Groupon pay them when someone redeems this coupon? 50% of that. Yep, exactly. $14.50. All right. Now, a 60-minute massage for $14.50. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? 60-minute massage. That's a great deal, right? I'm buying all of these. And my friend says she got tired of working for free. Someone that's a masseuse, I am sure they get paid more than $14.50 plus all of the overhead. Now, what's the end result? What I'm trying to get at, what is the end result? Is that business on each one of these clients, is that business making money? If they sell hundreds of these massages, are they at least making $1 that they can, I don't know, make they could capitalize on the law of large numbers or something? Exactly, they're losing money per customer. And we're going to get through more of these reasons, including if they have an actual back-end sales funnel, and if they actually monetize those leads in a better way. My guess for that is no. But the reason number one why Groupon sucks, and when you go into the business, this is what you want to ask. You're going to ask them, hey, how much does I'm sure you've been in business for a couple years now, and you guys run some type of financials, some type of analysis. How much does this hour-long massage cost you? You know, because I know you have fixed costs. You also have variable costs that include the hour that the masseuse spends with the client, plus, you know, rent, electricity, all that stuff. How much does that cost you? And they'll probably... Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, can I just throw one thing in there? On that example you just shown, okay, they sold 260 offers. Now, if you then do the calculations on that,
let's do that.
21 days of massages for $870. How can that be profitable? That's without any of the X's of running the business. It's crazy. That's nearly a month's work, and that's a 12-hour day. That I just broke that down to a 12-hour day. You've got to do 12 hours every day for 21 days just to fulfill that 260 deals they sold for 14.5 an hour.
And if we do the math, Neil, right, like I just did, if you see my screen, that each lead costs them about $50.50.
Yeah.
So multiply that by 260, that's $13,130. That's getting pretty expensive.
But you can see with these examples, right, how and why businesses, small businesses, if that was just one masseur,
yeah,
okay, you're going broke running this thing. There's no two ways about it. And the other thing is, they're not paying you straight away.
Yep.
Right? So you're doing all this work and then having to wait for the money. Crazy.
It's craziness. It's craziness. And the thing about it is, these businesses, right, they get lost in the hype. Groupon, oh yeah, this is a great opportunity. This is an amazing opportunity. They're going to get us so many. They're going to get us so much more exposure. And it's just a bunch of crap. And you want to go into this business and show them that math that I just showed you right now, and ask them, hey, do that financial analysis right on the spot, do a little bit of math with them, and say, hey, how much do you make off of client when you sell this regular massage for $65? And they're gonna say, oh yeah, about $20. So it costs you $45 to service one client. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, but you're only getting $14.50. 45 minus $14.50. That means you're losing $30.50 on each client. These clients are costing you that much, which is so much. And so the business keeps only 50% of that discounted price because Groupon keeps the other 50%. And another thing, how much do you think this dilutes the brand? If I can now get a massage for how much was it here? if I can now get a massage for $29, what do I start valuing it differently? I start looking at it differently. I'm not going to want to pay next time when I go back there and I have to pay $65. I'm just going to wait until there's another good deal on Groupon. And also, are the customers then that didn't get in on the Groupon deal, and what about if they find out that this Swedish massage place, this Swedish house massage place is offering this discount on Groupon? What do you think that's going to do to them? Are they going to be happy that they paid $65 when other people paid only $29?
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't even think about that.
Yeah, they're going to be pissed.
Yeah. And there's some other good comments in the chat now as well, because a few of you guys are absolutely right. That they might well think that they're going to get a tip. They're not going to get a tip. These are the cheapest guys on the planet. Okay, they've got a deal. They only want to pay the deal price. So you're not getting a tip. And are they coming back? They're just going to wait for the next Swedish massage deal and go there.
This becomes a catastrophe.
Complete disaster. The only people that win are Groupon.
Hey Neil, I think let's put SqueezeMobi on Groupon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean even just the workload. Okay, so effectively on that example, you're talking about a month, right? Because it was 21 days working solid, 12 hours a day. Throw in the weekends and any kind of holiday periods. That's you done. 12 hours a day, solid. 12 hours a day, solid for 21 days, for $870 when Groupon decides to pay you out. Because don't forget, you don't get reimbursed until you resubmit the Groupon tickets to Groupon. And you're talking minimum 30 days. I think they do it in bunches per week. So, you add up your vouchers for the week, then you send them in, then 30 days after that you get paid. I've heard stories that it's even longer than that sometimes. I mean, why companies go broke. Because if it wasn't, that example was a physical service that a person provides. Okay, so once they've taken all the running costs, like the premises and oils and all the rest of it, but other kind of offers, it's a physical product where you've got the cost of the product involved as well as all the other expenses on top. So you can see why businesses, smaller or even some bigger businesses, actually just, if it was actually the more successful the offer is, the worse off you are.
And there's some of these offers, they have like 1,000 people in there.
Mm. Yep.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah. That's a lot. In fact, my sister booked a Groupon deal for her son. There was a flight simulator in London.
Oh, that's cool.
And they could, yeah, and it was a cool offer. The deal was crazy, and he's really into that and wanted to be a pilot and all that kind of thing. And they couldn't even get him there, right? They couldn't get a booking for 6 weeks.
Because it was so sold out, right?
Because it was sold out, but just think about that. I should have got the figures off her, and I didn't get them, right? But you're talking about a central London location. The cost of running that business will be through the roof, right? Just, the rent you pay in locations with the rates and your electricity, everything, all that kind of stuff, let alone the equipment, So I can't see how they made a single penny. And also, people get, pardon my French, pissed off. If you phone them, they can't give you what you've just bought for 6 weeks. And it was a birthday present, so my sister was really annoyed. It's, Groupon is just incredible. I don't really get why people still think it's some holy grail of marketing for their business, to be invited to have Groupon run a campaign for them.
Well, you get lost in the hype.
The hype, yeah.
Google offered to buy Groupon for $6 billion. $6 billion, they rejected the offer, and so they must be too good for Google. So this company must be crazy. Now, what ended up happening?
Recently, right?
Yeah, Andrew Mason got fired. Their CEO gets fired, and there's a reason why he might have gotten fired.
Mm-hmm.
And we covered this a little bit. What customers does this attract? Will these customers also go through a deeper sales funnel? Because exactly, it attracts the cheapos, the customers that go from deal to deal to deal to deal. If they go, and there's a lot of restaurants on Groupon, if this is a customer that gets some type of good offer off of Groupon for a Friday night, what are they going to do next Friday? Are they going to go to that place and pay the full price because it was such a good place? No, they log back on to Groupon and they get another deal because, I don't know, they're probably not either making that much money, they're cheap, whatever it is, but they're not the repeat customers. They're not the quality customers that we as if we're a local business that we want to attract. And another thing, do these businesses have monetization strategies? A strategy where when the customer comes in, they know they're losing money on basically the front. Up front, they're losing money. But they also know that they're going to be able to take that customer and give them some different types of upsells. So they know, for example, that this customer that came in for this massage, they're going to be able to sell them a full day at the spa because 10% of the customers convert, and this is a higher ticket deal for, I don't know, $200, $300, and they know that they're going to be able to sell this to approximately 10% of the customers, and that's how they make up for their money. Who thinks that these businesses have that type of strategy, and they're thinking that way, and they're actually doing that? What percent? Give me a percent. Very, very few. Now, I know, and I forget who I was talking to, but I think it was a laser center. Don't get me wrong, you will find once in a while a business. There was a laser center, and it was some type of, I don't know if it was laser hair removal or some type of cosmetic surgery. They gave a coupon, a Groupon type of coupon, on the front. But the thing is, the person, once they redeemed that, the treatment was about like 3 or 4 treatments. So they got the first one for a good price, but then they had to pay full price for the follow-up, 3 treatments, and if they just get the first one, they don't do the other ones, it's not going to be effective, so it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money. So there are, and you can structure these types of strategies for businesses, but it needs to be well thought out. That is the exception, though. But I did want to give you an example of the other side, because it is very rare, but 1 to maybe max 3% of the businesses on Groupon, they're actually leveraging Groupon, and they know what they're doing, getting customers through the door and taking them through some type of extended sales funnel where they'll be monetizing them. But most of the businesses, it's a freaking disaster. It's a marketing disaster, and they get so discouraged. They're getting such poor results, and no one in Groupon cares. And on top of that, this can create a huge operating cash flow problem. Why? Because when does Groupon pay you? Neil covered this, so you should know the answer to this. Let's see. When does Groupon pay you? All right. Exactly. At least a month later. It really depends. It depends. Up to 3 months, but at least minimum is 30 days. And that can create an operating cash flow problem. And let's look at that. Let's do a couple searches, because there have been businesses that actually went bankrupt. Because what happens? All right? What happens? Let's say you put this offer on Groupon, and let's look, even if it's something else, the Swedish massage, you put it on Groupon, suddenly 1,000 people buy. Or let's say it's under food and drink, let's say 1,000 people buy. Now, your operating cash is not that big. You don't necessarily, you're running this business from month to month. Now you have to deliver, you have to fulfill and do the service that you promised for these customers, but you're not going to get paid for this until potentially up to 90 days later. That means if you're a restaurant, you have to pay for all that food that you just promised that you're going to be delivering to these people. If you're that Swedish massage place, you then have to pay all your employees who are going to be given these massages that you're not going to get the money for. Same thing, like Neil said, the flight school example, 6 month, or you said 6 weeks, 6 week backlog. So if we go to Google and we look up Groupon bankruptcy examples, look, right here, Groupon deal pushes bakery to brink of bankruptcy. All right? But there's even more. Back Alley Waffles blames Groupon for going out of business. See, there's all these articles. I recommend you guys look some of these up. Maybe print them out if that's one of your clients, especially if it's like a food store, if it's somewhere in food and drink, restaurants, and they have a huge backlog. Look this up.
I like that headline.
What did it say?
It said, "Get your $450 waffles at Back Alley Waffles," because that's probably what it cost them.
Yup. And are available by appointment only.
Mm-hmm.
And they blame, like you said, right here. Look, Back Alley Waffles has gone out of business, and co-owner Craig Nielsen blames Groupon. All right, it's not just it's real stuff. This is actually going on, and thus it becomes a huge cash flow nightmare if they're losing per customer and they're not getting paid, and this can push them to bankruptcy. Now, that's not always going to be the case, but even if it doesn't push them to bankruptcy, it can cause them to lose a whole bunch of money that they thought they were actually going to make money, and now they're losing money. Plus, Neil, like you said this, what did your sister say? It's kind of, right, the customer service has decreased, the ability to service that customer. She's upset.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to wait 6 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, Jamie just posted there that they found a deal on Groupon, 4 for lunch in a lighthouse on the coast, original price $900, Groupon price $279, right? How popular do you think that offer is going to be? So when do you think you're going to be able to book that table?
And Jamie, also, how many people redeemed that? I'm interested in that.
Because that's the other big thing, right? If the voucher isn't redeemed, who keeps the money?
They don't say, oh, you know, good faith, we like you, business owner, we're going to send you half of it anyways.
Let's face it, if 1,000 people take up the offer, not every single one of those is gonna come down. You know, I mean, for one, some people will just buy the offer so it's there. So if they're free on that day or they're free at that weekend when they can use that hotel or go and have that meal, they've got the deal to go and use it. It might be that they actually can't go on that day or whatever. So who keeps the money?
Groupon.
Exactly.
Groupon does. And over 50 people bought. So if you do that math, they're losing $621 per person. It's a $900 deal for $279. That's $621. And you multiply that by 50, that's $31,500 that they have just lost.
That's crazy.
The other thing is people think they're going to get very long-term exposure when they get on Groupon. That even if they do these deals for a little bit, there's going to be a lot of buzz. These people are then going to tell their friends. They're going to get excited. I hate to break it to these business owners, but the exposure is extremely short-lived. Why? Because these customers, they don't keep on going back to that place because they're usually cheaper customers. So the exposure is short-lived, and it becomes kind of worthless. This is a big one. Who keeps, and this is why, because business owners don't think about this at all. But this is huge. This is, and this is what you get paid, or if you don't get these big bucks paid yet, you're going to get paid the big bucks. All right? Who keeps the information about the leads? Groupon keeps all the leads. What do I mean by this? Any type of information, especially email addresses. All right? Now it would be cool if Groupon kept those leads, but the business figured out some type of way to then capture that lead information. So let's say you go in and get that Swedish massage, and they tell you, hey, by the way, you get this, I don't know, this little tiny oil sample, so you could do your own massage with your loved one when you get back home, have a romantic night. Just opt into this SMS list, leave us your email address, do whatever, but somehow capture their information. Because the business owners, they just don't understand how valuable that is. They don't understand about follow-up marketing. They don't understand that people forget really quickly, and it is not the responsibility of the person to keep it in their head that this business is good. It's the responsibility of that business to take that person and drive them, to continue to remind them of the great experience they had, and to drive them back into that business again. So if they're going to go on Groupon, at least, please, at least somehow capture that lead information. This really upsets me that business owners don't understand this, and they just don't see the value in capturing, whether it's a phone number or whether it's an email address. They just don't see the value in that. They don't know that they can make a ton of more money by simply leveraging SMS, text message marketing, or especially in the case of a restaurant. So please, if you do one thing, this is one of the things that you definitely want to focus on when you're talking to that business, and you ask them. Take what we just taught you and take them through these questions. So you don't just, when you're talking with these business owners, and it's, in a sense, one of the reasons, like I do, when I do these presentations, it's a little tough, right? Because I'm not there with you one-on-one, and we have a big room here full of people. So people might, after a while, we've been going for now almost over an hour and a half. Maybe get a tiny bit distracted. Keep the people engaged. When you do your client presentations, also do that. And that's why I like asking a lot of questions. Not only for myself, it keeps me engaged because then I see your feedback. It gives me maybe also some ideas, some things to touch upon, to hit. But as well for when you're talking with clients, don't make it a monologue, telling them, hey, Groupon does this, Groupon does this, Groupon does this. What you instead want to do is ask them these questions. Ask them, hey, how much does one of these Swedish massages cost you? How much are you actually getting from Groupon per one of these massages? Don't tell them, hey, according to my calculations, this is what you get, this is what happened. But ask them, and do you have a system for keeping track of these leads and collecting these leads? And so, what are some other reasons? You tell me. Any other favorite reasons? Anna says, I've been in sales for 25 years. Yes, Anna. And if we want to get inside the psychology, then if you want to get into the psychology, exactly, Anna. I've been in sales for 25 years is what Anna's saying. If they say it, it's true. If you say it, it's not true. So just ask questions and they'll sell themselves. Exactly, Anna. Thank you for pointing that out. When you kind of get behind it, exactly. If I tell you something, you say, okay, it's just something Enrique said. Now, if I ask you something and you basically come to the answer yourself and then you tell me the answer, how true is that? You came to the conclusion yourself. If you lead that business owner to the conclusion through a set of questions that are strategically placed, you basically they sell themselves. Amy says it's much more effective if it's their idea. And I remember, this is kind of a funny example, so I'll say, I had a friend, this girl, and she would tell me that when with like her boyfriends and things like that, it's just a little evil, but the way she would manipulate them is, if she wanted something, if she had an idea, she would always strategically ask different questions and figure out a way for that boyfriend to come to that conclusion. Make that person, Amy says smart woman, make the guy think, oh, hey, what a great idea. I'm such a genius. So that business owner, oh, I now understand. I'm such a genius. I figured this out, that Groupon sucks, that these marketing methods suck. I'm gonna restructure my marketing by hiring this guy that's sitting right across from me, and I'm gonna take this business now to the next level.
Sahid.
So funny stuff. Now, the other thing I wanna show you is, now that we know why Groupon is bad, how many of these businesses also do you think, if they have so much money and they're investing all of this money, for example, this let me see right here. For example, this Swedish massage place, and Groupon is taking forever to load right now. Let's go back here. If they have so much money, I think they spend what? It was, let me do the math again in my head real quick. 50 times, okay. They spend approximately over $13,000. It costs them approximately $13,000. Do you all know how I got to that number? If not, I could do the math for you again. Just wanna see. 13,000. Okay, Derek. Basically, how much do they make? They make $14.50, and okay. So approximately $13,000 for this promotion. Would you expect, Jeff? Okay, a couple people asking me to do it again, so I will real quick. Okay. So basically, I subtracted 65. 65 is the value. That's how much they normally charge, and $14.50 is how much their take home is. Okay, $14.50 is their take home. So that's how much the business is going to get paid once someone redeems that coupon. And 260 is right here, the quantity that bought. Over 260 people bought. So this is their loss. They're losing basically $50.50 per sale, and times how many people redeem, then that's $13,130. What I want to ask is, if they spend so much on this promotion, would you at least hope that they have some type of social media campaign, that they have a mobile site? If they have so much money to throw at their marketing, would you at least think it's logical, right? They should have it. Well, let's see. Maybe they do. You know, I don't know. Maybe but company website. Let's see how this company website looks. Oh no. Oh no. I'm already not too excited about this website. Are you, Neil?
What do you think? What do you think my reaction to that was? And oh, look.
Of course not. It's not mobile
Don't you
optimized.
love that?
The one good thing,
Optimized mobile version.
20 people like this. That's the one okay good thing. But it's not even mobile optimized, the site. All right? It's useless. There's no information that's being collected. There's no promotion to drive people that stumble upon the website to that actual business. It says by appointment only. It just boggles my mind. I don't understand. Why do businesses do this to themselves? But luckily, I mean, that presents us with an opportunity to contact this client. And I even recommend, if you guys are interested, I mean, since we went through this example, even if it's not in your area, you could just call this place up. Here's the number. All right, this is unrehearsed. I couldn't find a better example if I prepared this, and get them on a Skype call and say, hey, I'm gonna walk you through a couple things, and I'm gonna show you a couple things, and we'll just do a quick screen share. But it just boggles my mind. I don't know why these businesses do it. But so after finding the information, always check on that lead. Check if they have a mobile site, if they have social media presence. And the other thing I wanted to touch upon, any of these methods, do you think, would it be possible for you to give instructions to someone, maybe an outsourcer to a full-time employee, to anyone, and tell them, hey, do this research for me and collect this information for me. All right? Do that math. Tell them, hey, do that math that Enrique did. You can even send them my presentation. Do that math that Enrique did. Show me how much this promotion has cost them. Show me, hey, what's the value? What's the amount that they're charging? How much does the promotion cost them? Do that in an Excel spreadsheet. Tell me if their site is mobile optimized, they have a social media presence, and then just give me the number. Give me maybe a name there as well. How easy would that be? Exactly. It's not that tough. This is not rocket science. It's just about dedicated effort. So also check up on if they have a mobile site, if they have a social media presence, and your homework. Let's generate leads on Groupon. You must generate 10 leads as well. So now we've hit it from different angles, and all of these are effective lead gen sources. Let's go right here, and my homework for you using these lead gen sources is generate 30 leads. Contact them and offer them a free audit. Schedule it for next week. If you've already watched the audit presentation that we left as the bonus, then you could do it yourself. We left the audit presentation. I'll show you where that is. Let me show you a couple things in your members area. Right here, if you go under bonus materials or coaching audit training, under audit training, you'll find all of the audit training sessions right here, Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, or even the audit presentation. That's the 70-slide plus presentation. We're going to be going over all that next week, but if you want to jump ahead a little bit, under bonus material, there's also a script. That's something, and I don't know if I put the price sheet here, but there's both a price sheet and a script. So that's something we newly uploaded. I think it was already like a week ago, but something in there for you guys as well. And so that script, this is a script that we used when we were doing some telemarketing when contacting restaurant owners. So it's specific to restaurants, but the the point of it is you can then take it and you could do whatever you want with it. You can leverage it, you can edit it, you could target it to any niche, but you have something to work off of. Dave's asking, do you have any email marketing scripts? No, we generally something we're actually working on for one of our next products. There is a very effective way to do some emails, so I might be coming out with that. But when it comes to stuff like this, unless you're sending them directly to landing pages that shows them their site, that shows them also right next to it one of your templates, email marketing might not be, doesn't always get the best conversion rates. Okay, but we'll cover that more as towards the end of the month as we get closer to our next product that we're going to be bringing to the market. Now, let me go over a little bit of that script. I just wanted to cover one more thing real quick about that potential script and just go what I went over before, but going in and always making sure that you build that value. Make sure that they know that you charge $200, $300 for that audit, and then scale it back. So say, hey, for a 60 to 90-minute audit presentation and audit analysis, we usually charge $300, but we could do a quick one for 20 and 30 minutes. 20 or 30 minutes. What does this do? This is pretty cool because if you think about it, what does this do? Number one, it sets up the value, right? It sets up the value. But number two, if you think about it, for an initial meeting with someone they might not know, does someone want to meet for 60 minutes, for 90 minutes, when they don't even know that you're going to be giving value? So you basically pack everything then in 20 minutes. You don't sell yourself short, but you also make it a little lower pressure. And then going into, hey, we're going to be structuring this digital marketing plan during this audit and point out the strengths and weaknesses. Outline a step-by-step plan how you can implement a few things. Just from what I see, you definitely need a mobile optimized site. You're getting quite a bit of mobile traffic. I've done a little bit of research on you, and when someone searches for massages in Philadelphia, 25%, 30% of that traffic is coming from a mobile phone. You're not capitalizing on that at all. And how much are you? Do you know how much even that Groupon promotion has cost you? Ask them, because the other thing you'll notice. Do you think these business owners actually do this math that we just did? No. They don't. So ask them and then say, hey, if we do the math, I calculated that it costs you $13,000 already. And Ken Mon, if I'm saying correctly, doing a free audit is kind of like a Groupon deal. Pretty cool. It is. It's your time. What's the difference? The difference is when we do the audit, we have an extended funnel. And we know it's worth it for us to invest 20 minutes and audit these businesses, give them some value away for free, give them a consultation away for free, because we have an extended funnel, and we also know we're going to take that person through that funnel, and it's going to be worth our time, because we're going to close them on much bigger packages. All right, so the audit system, that's what you do. You offer a strategy, and you guys all have access to this audit presentation. That's going to be in depth because it's 70 plus slides. There's no way I could cover that right now. We've almost been going already for 2 hours. But you craft out the strategy. You do map out their mobile marketing strategy. You create a step-by-step blueprint. That's going to be the key. Is you really are adding a ton of value. And that's what's going to distinguish you from people doing sales calls and they just want to sell. And they don't offer anything in return. You're actually going to be helping this business whether they go with you or not. All right, so that wraps it up for today's session. I'm going to stay on. Like I said, we've already been going for almost 2 hours, so I'll stay on for about 5 more minutes, and let's do a little bit of a quick Q&A. The one thing I want to say when we do our Q&A, we were actually talking a little bit with Jason. If a lot of you, some of you maybe know him, Jason Fladlin, and discussing also the difference between, I think it's like, what term he used, I don't know, like 5-cent and $5 questions. But basically what I'm trying to say is there are certain things, certain experiences that I have that you should try to leverage when you're on these webinars, when you're on them live, that you may not have that you can get from me. Because I noticed that a lot of the questions are questions that, yeah, I can answer. I'll try to answer them if you really want to know the answer, but that don't really further your business. They're like, hey, how much, for example, from SqueezeMobi, how much does this cost? How much does that cost? How much does this cost? It's sometimes like important knowledge to know. On the other hand, I think we gave a very good deal, and when we're still giving a very good deal, for example, for that platform. And if you're serious about it and you really close clients, the costs of the platform are trivial. So let's open that up, and especially if you have some good questions. I thank you so much, Yori or Jory. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct. This was awesome training. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. How do you convince a business owner with a mobile landing page only that they could benefit from a quality mobile site? Gina, that is a good question. That is a good question. Well, one of the things that you can hit it depends what's on that mobile landing page. Let's say, and for those of you, some people, I know you always ask, people always ask this, what's the difference between a landing page? What's the difference between a mobile site? A landing page is just a quick one-pager. It's like, you know those annoying exit pop-outs that pops out and says, enter your email address here, right? So same thing with a mobile landing page. You're doing a local search, you say restaurant San Francisco, and it's just a one-pager. Hey, we're kind of like located here. Click the tap to call to make your reservation now, or there's some type of call to action, but it's just a one-pager, and then usually at the end it says, all right, click this button to go to the main site. And that website will then not be mobile optimized, like Gina said. How do you convince them to get a mobile optimized site, which is like a 5-pager? What you could do, Gina, is sell them also on the fact, how are people going to find their restaurant? All right, that's one cool thing about a full-blown site, is when they go and hit the contact us button. Let me see. Let me show you. Maybe I could find it somewhere here. How what I want to show you. Give me 1 second. Let's see. All right. So for example, I think if I find it, maybe I will. All right. So, for example, like the About Us, and then you can hear, tap here for full contact details, and then even map and driving directions. And you could do much more cooler stuff with the drag and drop builder, but this is something, for example, the map and driving directions, information that people, when they access to the site, they need access to, and you just can't fit it all on that landing page. The cool thing with the landing page, it's kind of like your foot in the door. It's something lower cost to sell them on, start getting them some type of results, and then say, all right, you've been getting results, now let's expand your strategy. Let's do an analysis how good this has been working for you, and then let's expand your strategy. Dan says, how do we access info on the SqueezeMobi site? Yes, that is a part of your subscription. Yep, and I'll show you how. Okay, I'll run through that real quick. Even though but Dan, even though if you watch that first 14-minute video that you get when you that I wanted everyone to watch, I know probably everyone didn't watch it. That I left there, that pops up immediately as you log in. It does kind of go through. Dan says, I'm guilty. It is there. And then our support blows up. Even though I tried to stress how important it was, because otherwise then, you don't even know how to access your mobile site builder. But if you log in, I'm not going to go how to create an advertiser, but if you log into an advertiser account, or even on that main thing, just click on training and support. Once you click on that, it's going to redirect you right away to this coaching site, okay? Yeah, support blew up because people are asking, hey, how do I access this? How do I access that? And I'm like, oh, just watch the video, please. Please. I promise it's all there, all the important information. Okay? Oh, and I think we have something big, right? Let's. I think we. Neil, did we promise to do a little bit of a contest?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we didn't say. So I don't know. Maybe the people won't be here live. But do you want to go over that? I want you to do the honors. I don't want people to be upset at me.
I'll do first prize. You can do the rest because I was actually just doing something that I need to get done.
Okay. Well, Avi. Well, I'll let Avi pick the rest of the prizes, and he needs to shoot it to me in the chat.
Yeah, I think we're already in the chat. Okay, but I'm not sure that the winner is in the room. So, first place for the design contest, drum roll.
Drum rolled, and this is an iPad mini, right? I think that's right. So, drum roll.
And that was for Barb Hansen Stepaniak, if I've got that right. And it was a great design, really clean, really crisp.
Was it for Barb?
Oh, Barb's there.
All right, congratulations, Barb. Good job.
Been hiding.
Barb's actually been really engaged, and so I'm happy actually that you won. I'm really happy.
You don't have to thank. I mean, it's a competition, and you won it on merit. Okay, so. We know you've been active, but first prize was down to my choice, and your design was excellent. Really clean, nice, intuitive, and creative as well. So well done.
All right.
It was the nail salon, Barb.
And a lot of people are saying would love to see what Barb did. I was gonna show it, but I'm thinking that I'm gonna just tell everyone to go to our Facebook fan page. Go to our Facebook fan page and check it out so that we can get more traffic to our Facebook fan page. And all right. And I think so we'll wrap it up around here. And for the rest of the winners, we will be just getting in touch with those people, as the biggest prize is the most important with the iPad. The other people just get a little bit of a bump down on their membership costs. All right.
So have we got all Barb's details?
Barb, Avi, can you let's get in touch with Barb so that we can make sure that you get your iPad mini. Okay.
But well done again, Barb. Awesome work. Well done.
All right.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. So for Derek, go check out. Everyone else, go check out. And let's see. Go check out our Facebook fan page right here. Facebook.com/SqueezeMobi LTD. And you will see it there. And like us as well. Who hasn't liked us? Like us on there. Like us on there. We want to let's cross that 1,000 mark. Okay? And if you just scroll down, you'll find it.
You have to click on the tab that says photos. If you could just walk through it, it'd be great, mate.
Yeah, my question box is... It's right here. All right, if you scroll down, you'll see, and then you click on view 27 more comments.
View comments, and you'll see all the participants and the links there.
And then I'll right here, Barb has won the iPad mini.
Dave, we'll make an announcement as soon as we've got some concrete information, okay?
Okay. All right, guys. Take care, everybody, and thank you so much. I'll see you. I think I'm pretty sure the next session is going to be Monday at 11 a.m. All right. If that changes, if we have to push it back, I'll let you know. But as of now, it is at Monday at 11 a.m. and we're going to be going through that audit. So get excited because that's going to be a fantastic session too, full of good information. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm really pumped. Was really happy and excited about the session, and hope you had some good information.
Go get some business, guys.